bow of Titanic looms over the darkness as our submersible rises slowly. What looks like a large elephant chunk is in fact stalactite-like structures called rusticles. These are formed when iron-eating bacteria attacks the steel and sunken ships. Those ones are coming out of the center house pipe, but the center anchor chain would have come through. We are now approaching the forward railings of the very proud of the Titanic. And we can see more rusticles draped over those railings, and a small little bamboo coral pointing forward. We're now looking into the weld, where the huge center anchor still lies in its place. Just above it, you can see the crane that would have lifted that out. Age is shaking its toll on the shipwreck, and the railings are starting to collapse outwards. Coming into view as we travel along the port or left side, we can see one of the anchor chains. And in the distance on the right-hand side, some mooring ballers and a very large bronze-capped sun comes into view. Still glistening and shiny after 111 years. On the seabed, the anchor chains are now moving there towards the windlasses, where they would have pulled them back down into the chain locker at the bottom of the ship. lying across more steam winches. When I first dived on the ship in the summer of 2000, the main mast lay right across the whale deck onto the bridge. And now, as we can see, it has completely collapsed. It's very sad to see it like this. Looking down to the whale deck, we can see the doorway that would have stepped out onto the crow's nest. The crow's nest are from Belfast and they are from Cove. Titanic last port of call. Just there on the left-hand side, you can see a bench, shiny bar. We believe is the remains of the linkage that brought the steering wheel connection to the forward steering wheel and the bridge. This great shot gives a whole panoramic view of that area. Or the funnel number 1 was. She would have gone all the way down to the border and the uptakes for the smokestacks. A water tank. Behind that looms interview, and again the remains of more ventilation trunks. Or fan trunks as they were called. And now we're just coming towards the expansion joint, and we can see the remains of skylights and holes in the roof there, and they lead down into the Marconi room, where Jack Phillips and Harold Bride sent out their messages, their SOS messages of distress. We're now approaching the void or open space of the remains of the grand staircase. There was nothing to see of the ground staircase. That was completely destroyed in these intersinking. So all we have is just a gate beehive going down into the ship. We'll be coming back to that in a few minutes, just to have a better look. That small wall there on the right is actually the entrance to the grand staircase. First class entrance, which brought you into the grand staircase area. This area we're approaching now is the reading and writing room area and the first class language. And it's also the area where the ship broke into, so a lot of this is quite destroyed. A bit difficult to make out, but just to the left-hand side, there is the void where the second funnel was. So beyond here, there's really nothing else except the collapsed decks going right down to the seabed. Now we're on the seabed just near the broken area. And lots of unrecognizable pieces of the ship are all around us here. We're making our way back towards the section that broke off, where we will see some quite extraordinary sights, and that is of the boarders. The doubled-engined Scotch board that burnt the coal that raised the steam that drove the huge engines for Titanic. The thrusters from the submersible were causing that dust. We can see some soft coral. There is a scuttle or a drainage area for water to pour off the side of the ship. And that's an interesting little There you can see the hinge. 2 hinges top and bottom on the right-hand side. We're at the very forward end now here of the yak. Where we've just been.